My older sister, 27F. Ruined our relationship and my family wants me, 24F, to get over it. Texting this on my phone. I, 24F, live 4 hours away from my sister and she was planning her birthday weekend with me. Saturday was brunch then bar hopping that night and Sunday was an afternoon lunch. I'm excited to go. I bought new outfits because there was a theme, got her a gift, and helped her plan all the events to begin with. Clockout time graces my presence on Friday and I run to my car only to find that it's completely dead. Tried to start it and it didn't even click. Took the jumper cables and connected it to my coworker's big ol' Ford F-150 and it burped one good time before croaking. I'm hurt but whatever. I called Big Sis to let her know the complications and I get my car towed to my apartment because the mechanics were closed. I let her know what happened and that I'd most likely be late to brunch and she said it's okay. Saturday morning I get my car towed to the mechanics and for $2,500 it's up and running. Go back. Call Big Sis to give her an update, and pack up my car. Just to give you a time, it was around 11 a.m. when I headed out, so I let her know brunch didn't seem likely but it was fine because she was with friends so she wasn't left alone or something. Now to explain, I ended up not making it to the brunch because I got stuck in major traffic. 2 car accidents on I-4, and let me go on to say if you get into an accident of any kind in Florida put your car in park. I let older sis know and she says it's okay and they'll be heading to a bar around my asshole. I ask for the name of the bar and I get no response. I'm finally an hour out and I text her to ask again but no answer. I don't have her location on maps either so I just waited for a reply and end up going to her apartment, which was like 4:30 p.m. I text her that I'm at her apartment and head to a gas station to do my business and get dressed up for the bar. 40-ish minutes later she says she won't be home for a while and she's heading to the bar. Cool, but what's the name of the bar, dude? I ask the name and guess what? No reply. I finally get fed up with the antics and say I'm going to head home and she immediately says, "Yay, it's not working out." So drove the 4 hours back home. I texted her that I wasn't disposable and that she shouldn't treat people this way because WTF? She didn't apologize and when our parents were made aware of the situation she lied saying I cussed her out. Didn't text her anything. And was waiting in front of her apartment for only like 20 minutes. Of course, I had to call logs and texts to show that she was lying and once confronted about lying she said she didn't care. This blindsided me because our relationship was fine. We call each other almost every day and text each other on multiple platforms every day. I admired her. I blocked her on everything and I don't want to talk to her ever again honestly because the dynamic isn't the same. My parents want me to get over it. They want me to reach out and resume our relationship because we're sisters. I raised the point that the fact that we're sisters made it worse for me because I'm not a stranger she met in class. I'm the girl she knew before I even consciously knew myself. Everyone in my family is saying I should just make up because she'll never apologize and it's annoying for them to have to send texts twice because we're not in the same group chats anymore. They're saying I'm too sensitive. Let me know. Edit. I would call and FaceTime her too, not just text. Don't let her walk all over you. Stand your ground. What she did is ridiculous and you deserve an apology. Why is it your responsibility to make up with her? Maybe your sister should drive 4 hours to make up with you. As someone who has no relationship with my little brother due to a major fallout over something he did which I could never have done myself, I get where you're coming from and cutting out people who are toxic for you is something I'll always see as a good thing. I wasn't expecting motherhood to be so lonely. TW. Mention of suicide attempt. My twin sister and I, both 33 female, have recently had babies. I have an 8-month-old daughter, she has a 5-month-old son. We both struggled with fertility issues and were trying to get pregnant for a few years and we were lucky enough to fall pregnant within a few months of each other. My sister had quite a traumatic birth which led to her son having some health issues and is currently still on oxygen. Hopefully will be off by the end of the week, fingers crossed. Being twins, we're very close with each other. We talk every day, try and see each other as much as possible etc. and we have the same friend group as well. Since we've had our babies, it's almost like we've been ghosted from the group. They still all do things as a group without inviting us. Any conversations we have now seem forced. There was an incident a couple of months back where my fiance had a suicide attempt. He's doing a lot better now, and it almost felt like that was the last straw. Since then they don't really talk to us at all. It's something I'm still struggling with and not having my friends to talk to is a massive struggle. I don't really know what I'm looking for here, I guess I just wanted to vent. You always hear things about friendships falling apart after you have kids, but we were such a close group I didn't think of it happening to us, but here we are. Both of us having gone through something traumatic and not having our closest friends to talk to. It happens, especially in groups where you are the first to become parents. Best advice is join a mom's day out group, or something similar. Go to baby gyms, where the interaction with adults is just as important as the stimulation for the baby. I'm experiencing this too. Lost all my friends now, I only have my partner and son to talk to. I've tried following others' advice to seek out other mothers as friends, and to be honest, a lot of other mom groups are just catty high school cliques but with kids. It's hard. I don't want to be friends with other moms just because they're moms too. I want to be friends with people who share the same interests and hobbies as me that just so happen to also be moms. My boyfriend told me I would end up a single mother. To start, I'm on birth control and not pregnant, nor do I want to become pregnant anytime soon. My boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 21 female, got into an argument this morning. He ended up telling me that if I were to end up pregnant, then I would end up a single mother, stating he'd resent me and leave. It doesn't particularly sound that bad, but in the context he said it, as well as other issues we've had, I'm appalled. He's not ready for children. I'm certainly not either, but it's just the fact he'd say something like that just made me sad. I know it's stupid, but it really hurt, and I don't know where else to turn, as he refuses to apologize for what he said. Believe him, this will be your future if you stay with him. You break up with guys that say those things, you shouldn't even have to think about it, especially ones almost 30. My boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 21 female, got into an argument this morning. He ended up telling me that if I were to end up pregnant, then I would end up a single mother. It doesn't particularly sound that bad, but in the context he said it, as well as other issues we've had, I'm appalled. What was the context? Are you on different pages about accidental pregnancy? Why is he still your BF? Don't stay with people who say hurtful things and then refuse to apologize. If any guy says that to you, you dump them. That is toxic behavior. And this is the person you choose to be in a relationship with? I, 27F. Think I should leave my fiance, 40M. I don't know how to begin this, but I don't know what to do. I've been with my fiance for almost 6 years, and I basically spent my entire early 20s with him. I've recently recovered from a very bad depressive episode and am now coming to realize that maybe I don't want to marry him anymore. I want to live a life that is free, and continue to learn more about myself. But I'm also terrified. Our lives are basically so intertwined that I don't know how he'd handle it or how I would. We have so many plans together, and what used to appeal to me, i.e. house, kids, wife life, doesn't feel like what I need at this time. We've had our problems, as with any long-term relationship, but one incident that was the catalyst for all of this was after I had a crisis moment. All he could think of was how it would affect his plans. But what good would those plans be had I succumbed to my illness? Should I call off the wedding? Too long did not read. Recovering from depression has opened my eyes to discovering myself, but scared to leave life I built with fiance. You were significant other young when you started dating. People tend to change a huge amount in their early 20s. It wouldn't be surprising if you grew apart or became incompatible in that time. It sounds like you still care about him. Think about this. Doesn't he deserve to marry someone who is totally sure? Who has the same goals as him? If that's not you, let him go find that person, and you can do the same. I think you should call it off, and you have really good reasons for doing that. You've had almost no time to live your own life and explore the world as you see fit. It would be awful to just stuff those feelings down and proceed with the wedding. I think you'd live a life full of regrets if you did that. The breakup will probably be painful for you both, but you'll both get through it. He's 40. Not an age-appropriate person at all. You should leave him.